Welcome to Holding It Together with Bonita's podcast. And to our first-time listeners, welcome. Bonita's podcast was birthed out of 27 years of marriage between Tony and myself, where we've experienced joy and triumphs, abundance and lack, as well as sickness and in health. Tony had 2 massive heart attacks within 10 days and ultimately became 100% disabled. I became a caregiver for Tony for the past 5 years, along with our young adult kids. I felt it was important to share our story to encourage listeners who may be going through tough times to hold on a little while longer. I also wanted to share and interview others who have gone through challenging times and have held or still holding it together through tough times. Listeners, you will find encouragement, grace, motivation, relatability, and inspiration. Thank you for listening. Hi,
If you could
holders.
only
Welcome to
hold
another
on.
episode of Holding It Together with Bonita. We are at episode, what, babe? 14. 3 months in, right, babe? 3 months in, episode 14. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi, holders. Welcome to another episode of Holding It Together with Bonita. I am your host, Bonita. We also had Tony to say hello earlier. We have our co-host.
I'm Antoinette.
Joshua?
All right, so we're going to dive right into it. We're going to talk about topics that matter. I know, Joshua, you brought this topic up. You wanted to talk about friends and how we select and choose our friends because it matters. Again, just like family matters, friends matter. They are crucial. Friendships are crucial. However, we need to surround ourselves with
The right friend.
the right people.
Yeah.
So, in order to just go ahead and get this started, what is so important about choosing good friends?
Well, I think choosing the right friends, sometimes it can seem like, oh, it's not where I'm just hanging out with them a little bit. I know they do this, and that, but it's not that bad. I don't do it, but I just hang around them for a good time. I think it can start off like that, or just somebody like inviting you and you go because you just want to have fun, that type thing. But I think you don't think about like how it can affect you, rub off on you, whatever they're doing, and just someone looking at you, observing you, and just categorizing you with that group. So exactly. Whatever they do, they feel like you probably do.
Yeah. As Granny used to say, birds of a feather
flock together.
Right. Who you're around, people look at, oh,
right.
He hanging with.
Right.
I didn't realize they were.
They
or
were
it
friends.
Could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Who you hang around, they're impactful in the community. So that's a good thing. So it can go both ways. Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same way when it comes to selecting friends. I feel like that kind of defines who you are. Whoever you hang out with is kind of like how you are as a character. I feel like it goes hand in hand. And even like whatever they doing, it kind of rub off on you.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you're marinating in something.
Yeah.
Right.
And you become that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree because I believe it affects and impacts your mental and emotional well-being, just as you both have stated. If you have friends that are always downcast and got something negative to say, you might start off with, well, no, trying to have that more positive. Then after a while, you may become more negative, or you may decide, what, I need to go ahead and kind of widen the gap.
Right.
Because they're way too negative.
Exactly.
So I think choosing friends are extremely important. And then you want to make sure you have friends that when you are going through great times, you're in a time of celebration, they're there to support you. They're happy. Scripture talks about when you celebrate, celebrate. When you cry, I cry. Friends that can hold you up when you're going through a tough time. All those things matter. I would have to say it's Tony's god sister, and she's my beautician, and we've been friends for umpteen years. We were friends before I even knew she was Tony's god sister. And I don't care what time passes, we can pick up and just pick up where we left off. And it's like no time has passed. I mean, she's been doing your hair since you were literally a baby.
Yeah.
And we talk about times, and we were all together just recently. And it's just, we laugh, we talk. She brings up stuff that we used to talk about back when all of y'all were babies. And it's a good thing to be able to have that kind of relationship, and a relationship that I don't have to talk to her every day. If I had to talk to her every day in order to maintain our relationship, our friendship, I don't know how that will work out. Because I'm trying to be a wife, a mother, entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur. She has babies. And you can't be on that phone every day and you're trying to be what you need to be within the household. But that's just my take. That's just my take on it.
So what are some key qualities you guys think we should look for when we're looking for a friend?
Key qualities? Well, I'll bring up one that we were just having a conversation before we got started. And Tony, he said his key quality is loyalty. Loyal. That now, not loyal to the point where I'm doing something crazy.
And you saying you need to stick beside me. Don't be saying nothing.
Exactly.
Don't tell me I'm wrong, even though I am.
Right.
Not that type.
Not that loyalty, but just loyal. Like, can I trust you with anything?
Right. I tell you something and you don't tell anybody else.
Exactly.
Or you don't just like spread it when it's not to be spread type thing. Yeah.
Right. And I don't have to go into the conversation saying that. If I got to go into the conversation saying,
hey, don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
Right.
I already know that
you shouldn't tell them.
Yeah, one of the key qualities I would say is just a mutual respect, because, I mean, it's a lot of people that can be your friend, but they don't respect you. Mm-hmm. And they feel like they can talk to you any type of way. Yeah. And that's not a good friend.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Josh. I think mutual respect is a key, how you talk to someone. But I don't think a true friend would come off talking crazy. And even because sometimes we use the word friend loosely. Oh, that's my friend. But it really ain't. What I'm saying, because they don't have that respect. They don't have that mutual respect for you or talking to you crazy. If that type thing is showing up in what you're calling friendship, then something is a little off with it.
Yeah. For me, I think something I look for in a friend is respect too. Because like that's the start of any relationship is respect. And then the other thing I would say is holding each other accountable. Like not allowing each other to like say something that's like off.
Yeah.
Like why would you
crazy.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Right.
And it go both ways.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And wouldn't you say that healthy friendship is also based off of the respect of your boundaries and individuality?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, because I would want my friend to respect the boundaries of my husband and I, respect the boundaries of how I parent. Certain things I would not want to have them feeling as if they could just come in and say and do anything.
Or just something simple like a friend who respects your boundaries. they're not going to just come to your house and ring the doorbell. They're going to call or
Right.
text and say, hey, I wanted to
Right.
drop something by. Can I come over?
Exactly.
Or tell me when you're available so I can come by and say hi, whatever.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So how can someone determine if the friendship is actually a healthy friendship?
I would say if I am in the midst of my friend and we have laughed until we've cried, like tears running down, and I've had that laughter that is deep in your belly, if I'm energized, if I'm excited when I leave your presence, I would say that's a healthy relationship. Even if we've emotionally cried, thinking about maybe how we made it, looking at the success of our kids now, or our marriages, or out of a dark place. But still, you come out the time with them feeling good,
Right, like, oh, I'm
smiling.
so happy I got to see my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to catch up soon.
Right, right. And you for real set a date. And you just don't, oh, we got to get together sometime and never do it. But you really set that time like, oh, this was so good. I think that's a sign of a healthy relationship. If I come out of a conversation of time spent with you and I'm depleted.
Or you're like sitting back and you're like, wait a minute. When they said that, were they being funny?
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
was that shade?
Was that shade? Or what was that little comment about?
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if the vibe off and like you barely can even speak,
Right.
because you can just tell like something shifted between y'all
Yes.
relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And what is unfortunate is I have had friendships that have shifted. And it will hurt you to your core. I tell you, because y'all were babies, so y'all have no idea. But someone I went to school with, and we were friends. We both got married. All this time we had been friends, good friends, mind you. A lot of people thought we were sisters. We favored. And so after Tony and I got married, of course, we started with the business. We were having kids. Well, kids too.
Right.
I'm acting like we was like, oh, we got 10 kids now. But anyway, the business, kids, ministry. We started with the outreach. We had a telephone conversation I'll never forget. And I know I told that's why you were smiling. And she couldn't contain it any longer. I mean, whenever you experience something like this, it was crazy. She was sick of it. So she listened. Oh, okay. And this is what it was like. Oh, so you got your business now. You got your little. Anytime people start that little, you got your little business. Oh, you got the kids. Oh, y'all moved here. Oh, now you starting the little outreach ministry.
Hater.
These are the words that came out of her mouth next. Every time I talk to you, you doing something else. And I'm doing this because I don't know what she was looking like on the phone because we were on the phone, but that's what I felt like she was doing. She says, every time I talk to you, oh, so you're going to be doing something else? And
That's
here y'all
crazy.
were running around at my feet, playing. I was so heartbroken. I said high school, middle school, high school, marriage. Can you imagine somebody you've been friends with and they hit you with that? And then here was another thing she said. And this is anyway, let me get to this. She goes, yeah, because when I talk to somebody, I won't mention their male or female. When I talk to so-and-so, we said, or he said, oh, so you don't let that slip. You having conversations with other people as well
About you.
about me.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So again, I was dumbfounded, and I said, you know what? There is absolutely nothing else we need to discuss. But here's one last thing you can do: lose my telephone number. And we have not talked since. And of course, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. And I love her to this day. But I do not need to speak to her
No.
at all. Well, Christians kind of get it twisted when it comes to.
But there's like, that's one thing that I think, not just Christians, but I see people like in general.
Yeah.
And like they know like a friend doesn't really like them. There's
At all.
always little sly things they say where they're like demeaning to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Or and stuff like that. And people will like not take it seriously, but it's serious.
Exactly. Or they think they just joking.
Yeah, but
So they may call you a name, but like laugh, like
Right.
it's a joke. See me, like I take that to heart. Like okay,
or hitting you for like it's a
Yes.
joke. Well, guys do stuff like that. Girls, you don't really play like that. But you see guys do that where they'll hit their friend. Like, don't hit nobody. Keep your hands to yourself.
right? And it's like people like that. You shouldn't be going on the trip, like away from your family, away from your actual real friends. Like
Exactly.
I was just thinking that when you said that. Yeah. And what I was thinking about is all of the stories in the headlines. Imagine me ignoring everything that this person has said. I don't care the time we have spent. There is something that shifted in her, and she was done with watching me with all this news. Every time I turn around, you got something new going on. So imagine now her and whoever she was talking to, they plotting, they planning, and they say, let's get her out on the trip. We see it in the storylines, in the headlines.
And then you imagine if she didn't say that, and then she say, "Oh yeah, me and so and so, we want to know if you want to go on a trip.
Yes.
Just us, not the kids, not the husband.
Exactly, right.
And y'all all go, and then they both have a problem with you.
Yes.
You don't know. I mean, you do,
Yeah.
because when people continue to say like demeaning stuff or
Yes,
slick
right,
stuff,
right.
that's why you don't ignore that.
You don't ignore it. You
Yeah.
can't ignore it. And for those who have heightened discernment, that's why I've taught you all long time ago to pray for heightened discernment. It is absolutely necessary because those who come in the sake of family, in the sake of friends.
Do you guys believe that you become like the people you surround yourself with?
Yeah. Back to what we just said earlier, birds of a feather flock together. I do believe that there is some truth to that your friends influence you, be it good or bad. So if you have that friend that is negative, always looking, always has a sad story, I do. I believe that our friends influence our attitudes, our behaviors, and sometimes even our values. So I think it is important that we choose friends that can elevate us, that have those qualities that will bring us up versus have us at a level that really can tear us down and bring us down.
For me, I believe it to a degree. I feel like it's based on how much you hang around your friends. Like, are you even someone who hangs around whoever you're friends with that often? I mean, I do feel like whoever you're around, it can change like certain aspects of how you live, or just like your character or things that you do. And like you said, like your beliefs, your values, what you think is important. But I think if you're someone who only hangs out with your friends maybe once every 3 months, you may not become like them too much because you really don't even know them. But I think it also goes back to, like you said, like, are they your friend or are they your acquaintance? Like sometimes we just call people our friends, even if we hang out with them, like quarterly.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree too. It's not like all of a sudden you hang out with your friend, you're gonna be doing exactly what they type situation.
Yeah.
And I know like it's always good not to always be around people who are just so righteous in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or because I mean that's what Jesus did. He wasn't around perfect people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Jesus, he wasn't out at the club type situation.
Right. Well,
He was still, I mean, he could, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't really think necessarily you're going to change like overnight. I think an extended period of time, how you influence, are you a follower? It depends
Yeah.
on your character too.
yeah, I think so. And like you bring up, like everyone around you isn't going to be like perfect, of course. But I think it's like, are they hanging around you because they want to become a little bit more like you? So that's what it is. Like you're basically helping them have like better friends. Or are you following them and doing everything that they do? So yeah, like you said, it's like your own character.
Yeah.
Like who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that. I also wanted to bring up the fact that, because I'm thinking about them, you've only heard me talk about them, how we talk about discernment. And two individuals I watched who, one out of the two thought they were really, really good friends. And maybe the other one thought they were good friends too. But the one took away from her every chance she got. When she was not around, it was always a thing. Yeah, they'll have to find someone rich. They'll never get married to an ordinary. They can't find an ordinary person. They're always trying to travel. They're always trying to do stuff. Oh yeah, so and so got drunk and I saw so and so with their hand on their lap. And so my thought was, I wonder if she knows that you talk about her like this. And if you all are truly besties, why do you tend to always want to take away from her? And I think that's another thing to kind of point out. And lately, we've been hearing a lot about friends. But if there is someone who is claiming to be your friend, back to what we just said earlier in the podcast, but there's always something they're trying to take away from you,
Right, just chipping at you.
just chipping, just chipping away at you. Could never say, oh my God, you look beautiful. And not, oh, you look so beautiful today. As if I only look beautiful today, one day.
But I think people said, but nobody's. I don't. If I've ever said, I'm not
I
like
know.
trying to mess with you. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm
But
not
just
offended
saying,
with you saying today, cause like
yeah, but if you just say, oh, well, no, I still say that. I still say that.
you
Yeah.
still say what?
I still say people who have to say, oh, you look beautiful today. As if, I know you said you might say it, but you don't mean anything by it.
No,
And I
I'm not
get that.
even thinking like that. I've
Yeah.
never even thought about that until you just said it. I'm like, what?
Are you
Right.
sure they looking ugly the other days?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm just saying. Right. What is the today about? But when it's hard for you to give compliments to your friends, what is that about?
Right, or you
You
can
know?
easily just say they look good instead of saying, oh, what did you get your hair done yesterday?
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of just saying, I love
Your hair,
Did you
yes.
change the color?
Yes.
Yeah, that type of
yes.
stuff.
Or they can't, oh, those new? What's up with that? Other than Josh, I love those gym shoes, man. Where you get them at? Or, oh, I love them. Just whatever. Just, oh, those new. Why? Why?
Those new,
Do
yeah,
you
that-
like them or what you
Right,
saying?
what does that mean?
What does that mean? Oh, those new? What does that mean?
Just say you like 'em,
What's
right.
in us that we can't give a true compliment to our friends?
Right.
To our friend, yeah. Oh, you lost weight. You look great. Anything like that. But anyway, okay. So that was good. Those two. I always wanted to say to her, as like Granny would say, watch her. But you just can't give that kind of information nowadays. But yeah, she really thinks that this particular young lady is her bestie, and every chance she gets, she's chipping at her. But anyway, okay, so Our next question.
What advice would you guys give to someone looking to build a better social circle? I would say, in my opinion, to build a better social circle or just have better friends, I would say like do different things. Like what are your hobbies? Like what are you doing to meet these type of people that you're meeting? So I think you could change like what you're doing, your hobbies instead of going somewhere this place, go that place.
Or it could be simply you could choose your particular passion. It could be a hobby or your passion. Go and begin to network with producers. Out of that networking, you might find friendships out of that. For your dad loves fishing. He could become a part of a fishing group. It does, like you stated, it doesn't have to be a Christian group because in that, of course, we minister wherever we go. But within that fishing group, or you as well, designers, just whatever your particular hobby or interest.
And I also think when you want to have like a better friends or a different social group, I don't think it's necessary to always be around 1,000 people. I think that's like the issue. Like you don't have to be a part of a group, a friend group. Like it's not necessary. You can find one good friend and that's it. You don't have to be a group of 20, 1 out of 20.
I am not the personality to have 20 best friends, but that's just my personality.
The advice I would give is just be around people and things that interest you. If you, like you said, if you like to fish, go to a fishing, I don't know, watch fishers fish.
Even go to a pond or a lake, wherever
Go
they
to a
fish.
pond or lake,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. It might be, again, it might be golfing. People like to golf. Yeah.
Josh, when you're looking for friends, do you try to look for a group of people to hang out with? Are you that type of person?
Not at all. I don't really have to have anybody for real. I got family. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that makes it
Who's
easy.
your best friend? Tell the people that.
The person talking.
Thank you. I just want him to say it because
Who's your best friend?
My dad.
Right.
Exactly.
I said that because he used to say, "You're my sister. You're not my best friend." I'm like, I can be both. Like,
Exactly right.
what's the problem?
But over you, it's his daddy.
Oh yeah,
And
for
I'm
sure.
Clear, I'm
Yeah.
clear on that. Yeah, for sure. His daddy. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah. And that's the way I was. My best friends were family. Period. Granny, my aunt, my mama, and of course, Tony, my husband. And then y'all came along, and y'all my besties, for real. Yeah. So all of this has been good conversation. Again, dropping those things about choosing friends, but also even thinking about the headlines and how people are drawn out to remote places to supposedly have a wonderful time, a relaxing time, and then are killed by their friends. It is so sickening to my stomach to think about those stories and to think about the whole plan to do dirt to you.
Right. And before they even got to that, I'm sure they made it clear with that person, hey, I don't like you.
Yeah.
They would have had to start off with the comments.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, God does give you a chance to cut them off.
He does.
Yes.
It's not going to just happen out of the blue. They just shot me.
No. Or they just started picking a fight so
Right.
everybody could gang up on me or lure me out.
Jump you.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's sick. Yeah, it's sick. But before we wrap it up, again, back to, and you're starting to talk about it, what are the red flags to watch out for?
There's always red flags, like Joshua
Yeah.
said. It's never out of the blue. And people always try you because they want to see how far they can take it.
Yeah.
Like when I call you out of your name, then like what do they do?
Exactly.
Do they check me
Right.
or
Or do they giggle?
it off?
Right,
Like
right.
this isn't. We're not gonna laugh this off. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Christian or not, like, you don't let people walk over you.
No.
Right.
No.
Even if they call you a name, do whatever. That can be y'all last day talking. You ain't even got to check them.
Exactly.
You ain't got to check them on the phone, text them. You ain't got to call them while you ain't going to be your friend. None of that.
Right.
None of
And
that.
there's no conversation.
No, it's over with.
Just like I told her, from this point on, lose my number.
Yeah,
I was not going into, I can't believe you, what? I was.
We've been friends for so long.
What did I do?
What did I do? Why would you? Oh.
What are you mad about?
Is it something I said?
Right.
Thanks for all of that information you just provided.
Right.
Because now I know what I need to do, which is cut it off. So when it's that, the red flags, that constantly being negative, I had a full earful. And thank God, like there are certain things, like it's not even worth me responding other than this the last conversation. Manipulative. People who are always trying to manipulate you and have you in the midst of stuff. And the whole gossiping thing. They dropping your name and different stuff.
Or they ask you about a particular person. Do you like old girl? And you say, I mean, I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I mean, she seems cool. And then like the next day you hear the person that they asked you about say, you said you didn't like me?
Exactly.
And you didn't know me for real?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, that's crazy. Playing games.
Playing games. So we talked about disrespectful, always belittling you. Oh, you always
going somewhere.
Yes. So what y'all doing now? Kind of like on my conversation. Oh, so you always, so what's that little thing? Oh, so you just started that little business of yours? Oh, okay. So how's that going? That kind of stuff. It's a red flag.
Right.
Danger.
Parentheses, little.
Little. L-I-L. Lil. So that little.
That little thing you've been doing.
Who would have thought? Yeah, but and just the whole draining and unhealthy. So when your dad and I first got married, there would be certain little gatherings, little pockets of things, and I would come out of it feeling drained and like a whirlwind of all these questions and it's like I don't need to be around that because something is happening in that little atmosphere and I don't want to be a part of it. And I believe that's where we have to become spiritually and emotionally mature enough to say, that's not good for me. And I'm not going to be a part of that again. Because it's not doing you any good.
Right.
Period. So if you're feeling drained and disrespected and belittled and what you're calling friendships, I would assess those friendships and get rid of them.
And when you and my dad got married, didn't you guys tell us like there were certain friendships that like fell off with both of you on both sides? Like,
yeah. I, for whatever reason, and then your dad too because y'all know how I am. I would say, babe, why don't you go out with them? Because they're gonna think I'm the wife trying to hold you back from having friends. Right. And your dad would say, I ain't got time to be hanging out with no hard ankles. I'm up in here with my baby, my wife. Did you, babe? Yeah. So I didn't have to worry about any of that other than, like I said, I was always trying they're going to think I'm trying to keep him from being friends and going out. And he's like...
Yeah, people don't know my dad because
they don't know him.
Yeah.
They think they know him.
Oh, did you guys... Like, they will ask you two as a couple, did you guys want to come, blah, blah, blah. Then when you guys get home, you'll say, babe, did you want to go?
Did you want to go?
No.
No, Bonita.
It was always a no for my dad. They probably thought it was you.
They always thought it was me, I'm sure.
But no. That's how he...
But yeah, so this has been enlightening, and this has been great insight on friendships, choosing friendships. Great topic, Joshua. I'm glad you brought it because I think a lot of us need to, like I said, assess our friendships. If our friendships are based on gossip, if all y'all doing is talking about other people,
Yeah, and I also think you can't be friends with anybody that is jealous of you. And sometimes it seems like you can be confused, like if a friend is jealous of you, you may think based on comments, but because technically they're doing better than you, like they
Right.
may have a higher job, like a bigger title than you. So you're
Right.
like, they are making funny comments. It seems like they're jealous, but you're questioning it because technically they're doing
They better
better.
off,
right,
Yeah.
right.
supposedly.
But still, people
Supposedly.
can still be jealous of
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And again, some people are jealous because they're watching. Sometimes it may be your level of confidence, your confidence as a black young woman, your confidence in Christ, your ability to be able to just move forward with your desires. Sometimes it's not those, I don't want to say physical things,
Or
but
like financial or
yeah,
something.
it's not
a title.
financial, it's not a title, it's just that inner confidence that you
Yeah.
have, and that comes with Christ, through
Yeah,
Christ.
like they say, it's not in you. Well, it's not on you; it's in you.
Yeah,
That type
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Favor.
It's favor,
Right.
yeah. And we know that favor brings on levels of complications in relationships. It just does. But again, this has been great. Thank you all for tuning in and those who are listening. Remember, choosing good friends is a crucial part of living a happy and fulfilling life. Stay tuned for our next episodes. But we also want to end in scripture.
Proverbs 27 verse 9 says, "A sweet friendship refreshes the soul,
Yes, it refreshes the soul,
not drain."
not drains. Yay.
There you go.
All right. Just you, man.